Welcome to Grid Formation Racing. Today we'll be discussing the Belgium Grand Prix, and I'll be reviewing it and giving my take on it. It was a long break and I was absolutely excited to get back into the F1 season. Belgium's a great track, or Spa's a great track, and I was looking super forward to this race. Unfortunately, in the F2 race, Antoine Hubert had a fatal crash, and it sort of put a dark cloud on what was supposed to be a fantastic race weekend. So that was quite sad that happened. It was very emotional with all the tributes on Sky TV and everything. And yeah, it was really sad, and I think the drivers had a hard time coping. A lot of these young drivers, they grew up together, and it was just very difficult for them, you can see. But they're race car drivers, they're aware of the risk, and they all they wanted to go racing because that's what he would have wanted, so that's what they did. But I'll start focusing on the F1 race again, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great race. Qualifying made it reminded us that Ferrari was here to win. They want. This is the next two races. It's either, if they can't win here, they're not going to win anywhere. So, you know, it was their turn to come out and put on a good performance. So with qualifying, it was quite interesting. I still kind of predicted. I thought Mercedes was going to win, or Hamilton. I thought he was going to pull it out. It was being discussed if the Ferrari car would be able to continue its pace, and if its power unit can continue over a full race, and it almost didn't. It was very close at the end. But again, we'll start with qualifying, and Hamilton got into his crash in P3, which I don't know. I'm assuming it played a role in his qualifying. He finished third, and I don't know. It just seemed like it wasn't meant to be this week. It was, there was a lot of penalties. I think after qualifying there was 6, and then on race day, I believe one of the Alfa Romeos also had another penalty. There was 7 cars with grid penalties. I was disappointed for Ricciardo and Renault. They qualified quite well. I was really excited to see them do well. It just wasn't meant to be. So many grid penalties and different engines and gearboxes, and just it was just just disappointing. But that's okay. We'll just we'll go right to the race and discuss it. So you have the Ferraris at the front. They take off, they go. I won't get into the Verstappen accident just yet, but basically, Vettel and Hamilton were fighting for position. Hamilton overtook him, and then Vettel took over again. And I think that actually helped Leclerc in the end, because with strategy, it worked in Leclerc's favor that they could sort of keep Hamilton a little bit back. Vettel had to defend. I forget exactly what lap he passed. I have it written down here. And it was about halfway through, or 30th lap or something. But I think that helped Leclerc with the strategy, and you never know where Ferrari's going to go with their pit strategies. But anyways, so for the first lap, it was good that Vettel was able to overpower the Mercedes, get ahead of it, and they were able to sort of go from there. Verstappen, I was disappointed. I wanted to see how the Honda was going to perform this race against the high power. I know we have Albon, but we'll get there too in a sec. But Verstappen, they go around the corner. Raikkonen has the line, and he just kind of drives in. I guess it looked like Verstappen saw more space than was actually there. When you see the replay, he had nowhere to go, and he basically went right into Raikkonen. So on team radio at first, he's like, what is he doing? Trying to blame Raikkonen, but in the interviews after, I think he knew he was in the wrong and accepted it, which is good for Verstappen, just in his maturity level. And I think he hasn't... I don't think he's done that in a while. He's at all top 5s. But anyways, he was out of the race, crashed into him, basically lost steering, and luckily didn't take out any other drivers when he crashed, because he basically couldn't turn, went into the corner, and that's his day done, and that was disappointing, like I said. I also don't know if Stroll hit in that same sort of, when it was all sort of happening in that corner, Stroll hit the back of Ricciardo's car. I don't know if that played a factor, but Ricciardo just didn't seem to have pace for the day. Both Renaults were just, I don't know, really bad showing, and and Hulkenberg finished in front of Ricciardo, and I don't know. I just wonder if something was wrong with his car. I haven't done any research on it yet, but not sure. Now, in all that sort of melee at the start, you had Norris, who was cleverly able to sneak into 5th place. He stayed back when all the drama was happening, and he kind of snuck into 5th. Stayed there. Well, we all know what happened. He stayed there in 5th for the whole race, and then engine sort of conked out at the end there. Disappointing for him, because I think he sort of needed that 5th place, and I think for McLaren as well, because Sainz, his car also stalled on first lap, so McLaren, they weren't able to get any points, both didn't finish. Really disappointing for them. But anyways, we'll move forward into the race, and Leclerc he was really driving better than Vettel. You can see it right from the start. He had the pace. He was just in sync with that car and just getting everything out of it. I even recall Hamilton at some point when he was behind Vettel saying that he's not quick, and that they were going to strategize around that, the fact that Vettel just didn't have the pace. Just get around him and just really start chasing Leclerc. I'm just looking here. Oh yeah, lap 11. The Haas's were together, and I just kept saying, "Oh, please don't crash into each other." But again, they had a poor showing as well. They had just what was Gunther saying? He was basically saying that they have too much drag, and they're not able to control their tires, and it's just, again, Magnussen just kept getting passed and passed and passed, and it was just disappointing to watch them. They're just doing so poor, and I was just, I want to see Haas do well, especially as a North American. I want to see North American teams doing well, just be good to see. But in saying that, Racing Point, the Canadian team, had a fairly decent showing. Perez, he finished, where was he? Was he 6th? No, 7th. Anyways, they had a good showing. I mean, even Stroll was able to sneak in to get some points there for the team. So really happy again. There's a misconception that all Canadians are that we're all Lance Stroll fans, but we know the situation, and we do question if he should have a spot in an F1 seat, especially the way he's been performing. I don't know how much longer. Well, as long as his dad's funding it, I guess he'll get that seat. But we would like to see him do well, and he got some points, and it's good for Racing Point and in the Constructors' Championship, especially with the Formula B sort of teams. You had the 2 races going on. You had Mercedes and Ferrari, and then you sort of had everyone else. But really, both 2 great storylines. And it just made it very entertaining. Albon, early in the race, I wasn't too impressed with how he was performing. I was like, oh boys, this is going to be another Gasly situation, because I thought Gasly, and actually Toro Rosso's in general, I thought they were performing quite well. Anyways, Albon was able to squeak in, and I think he finished, was it 5th? I don't have the actual thing in front of me here, but anyways, he was with Norris, stalling out the end there in the last lap. Albon was able to, make a good drive for the first race with Red Bull. So I was happy in the end for him. We'll see long term how that will go. I hope he can do it again. He needs to be in those obviously top 6s, but it would be nice if he can get in 5 and up. So that's what we're sort of hoping hoping for. In the last few laps, I was really happy to see the battle with Hamilton and Leclerc. I thought Hamilton had a chance, but not that much. I just thought you're looking at the pace, and he might be able to, you know, maybe put up a fight, but he made it interesting. It was a great finish, really enjoyable race, and I was really happy for Leclerc. I'm not a Ferrari fan, but I was happy for Leclerc. I think he deserved the win. He drove just fantastic from all weekend. He had a fantastic weekend, so really happy for him. He dedicated the race to Hubert. Really nice. He pointed to the sky when he got out of the car. Really nice touch. You know, a lot of class there, so good on him. And again, you know, he's missed out a couple races, and I really wanted to see him get that first one under his belt. You know, he lost out in Austria and Bahrain with the engine power, where he was basically a sitting duck. So anyways, he has that sort of, that cloud gone, and he's gonna, you know, move forward with Ferrari from here, and we'll see what happens in the next race. And yeah, I was just really happy for him. Thank you for tuning in to my review of the Belgium Grand Prix. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and to check out the next Grid Formation Racing videos. Thank you.